Welcome to Day 2 Fractions 8.1 Equal Parts of a Whole. So we always start with the unlock the problem. And it says Lauren shares a sandwich with her brother. They each get an equal part. How many equal parts are there? Well, in your brain you said, well, it's two people. They're each getting half. But we might have to look at it a little bit more. Each whole shape below is divided into equal parts. A whole is all of the parts of one shape or group. Equal parts are exactly the same size. So we're being fair when we share. It's the phrase we used in kindergarten. So here I have 2 halves, or 3 thirds, or 4 fourths. Catching on? We're on 6 sixths. 8 eighths. Lauren's sandwich is divided into halves, so there are blank equal parts. Found halves. I know halves means 2, so there are 2 equal parts. Okay, seems pretty simple so far, right? This is just throwing at you the basics of fractions and what it means to break things apart. So it says try this. Write whether the shape is divided into equal parts or unequal parts. Remember, equal means they're split fairly. There's no fighting over who gets which piece. So if I look at this, it says 4 parts, and they are fourths, but are they fair? Hopefully you all just said, yes, Miss Kiss, they are. So I'm going to write in the word equal. This says 6 blank parts, or sixths. They look all the same, which makes them equal. But now I come to the last one, and it says these are not halves, because you should all be saying the same thing that says it's not fair. I don't want that piece of chocolate. I definitely want that piece. So this is now going to say unequal. Now notice it says error alert. Be sure the parts are equal in size. So this is yay. This is not yay. They are not equal. So share and show. This shape is divided into 3 equal parts. What's the name of those parts? You should be catching on. You're filling in the answer before I write it. Thirds, because I have 1, 2, 3 parts. Now we just have to write the number for the equal parts and then write the name for the parts. So I'm first going to say I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, but what do we call 4 equal parts? Hopefully you said fourths. I have 1, 2. Even though that's an odd shape, it is cut fair into 2 parts, which we refer to as halves. Oh, good golly, this has got a lot. Let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. So I take my number, 8, and normally you would add a TH, but I already have one of those T's, so I'm not going to add a double T. Eighths. Now it says write whether the shape, which we just practiced, is it equal or not equal? Well, does this look equal? It starts to. You might have noticed these are equal, but then this is not cut enough to make it equal. So we will write unequal. Do these all look the same? They do indeed. Equal it is. How about this? Does it look like it's been cut fairly? You are correct. It is not. It is unequal. You guys getting the hang of this? Because your work will be similar to saying what's a half or a whole or a part of something equaling thirds or fourths. So here we are. It says on your own. Now, when we're doing this live, I'm going to have you tell me each step versus me then walking myself through this lesson to say, ooh, 1, 2, 3 equal parts is thirds. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I may have you tell me how to spell it. So I know S-I-X is the word 6, but then I add my T-H-S for 6. Now, number 10 is a cool shape. It's a heart. They cut it in. I heard it. Cut it into 2 parts or halves. Uh-oh. What do I have to do to 11? They look equal, but I need to make sure I get my count correct. So 1, 2, 3, you keep going. Hopefully you got 8, and we will write eighths. I see 4 equal parts. We call those fourths. I see, ooh, a very nice dimensional shape here. There are 3 equal parts for thirds, but depending on where you look is which way that cube is rolling. Easy enough. Equal, not equal. We're just going to draw a smiley face. Smiley face. What do I draw here? You got it. Sad face. All right. Not going to worry about number 17. Thomas wants to divide. That go deeper. Wants to divide a square piece of paper into 4 equal parts. Draw 2 different quick pictures to show what his paper could look like. Now, if we were live, you would be telling me some of your options. I have a square. I have a square. A quick way to do it is what we've seen on some of our samples. I cut it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. Another option would be cut it in half, but then cut it in half this way. All right, so my drawing's a little off, but we're going to say that 1, 2, 3, 4 parts are equal. Now I've got this lovely pan. Yummy treats. Okay, Mrs. Riviera made 2 pans of corn casserole for a large family dinner. She cut each pan into parts. What is the name of the parts in A? That means, what would I call this if I were to take one piece? What would that bottom number be representative of? If I heard you say 6, that's great. So I'm going to write sixths as my piece. Now it says think smarter. Alex said his mom divided pan B into eighths. Does his statement make sense? Look at B compared to A. Does it make sense? If you're saying yes, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, okay, I see where you're going on your thinking, but are they equal pieces? So the answer would be his statement does not make sense because they're not 8 equal parts. All right, at this point is where you would then start your homework activity, which will look similar to some of the things here, where you're going to say how many equal parts and what do we call that, and everything is either multiple choice or fill in the little boxes to answer the parts, just like you did yesterday. All right, you're going to answer whether something is equal or unequal. You might get a problem like this where Diego cuts a round pizza into 8 equal slices. What is the name? They're not even going to ask you to draw it. They're just going to say, oh, name. You want 8 pieces. You take your number and add your TH. Easy peasy, right? Madison is making a placemat. She divides it into 6 equal parts to color. What's the name of the parts? Oh, I see name. They're not asking for me to do any work. It's just translate that into a number. That is word-wise spelt. Okay, how many equal parts are in this shape? That's a really hard question. Miss Kiss, it's not. That's a super easy question. If I look at it, how many parts? Oh, look, you just write 4. Same thing, what's the name for the equal parts? I'm not going to write a number. I'm going to write the word answer. You may or may not get review activities in your homework activity. So don't be freaked out if all of a sudden it's asking something and you go, oh, that's not a fraction question. It just means the spiral review is in your homework. So now that you have finished today's lesson, go to Think Central and do your math work.